Hi, just checking that we're recording. Yes. My name is Grace. I'm 55 years old and I have terminal cancer. I'm a single parent mum and I've got two boys, one's 14, one's 19. And I am just doing a kind of like series of short vlogs about my journey. And this one's about trying to regain a bit of like a quality of life after having some treatments that's had a real debilitating impact on my physical well-being. So I have soft tissue sarcoma stage 4. I've had a prognosis of less than 12 months, but for a couple of years now. But more recently I've started to really, I think my cancer's really progressed to the stage where it's quite uncomfortable and painful, and so it's quite a difficult kind of phase. So I'm not really thriving with cancer at the minute. I'm struggling a bit, but I'm far from not wanting to step up to the challenge. I'm definitely up for stepping up to the challenge. I've got a lot more that I want to do yet. This is going to be a little I don't know, vlog about this journey. It's a very uncertain journey. So I've had 3 lots of radiotherapy now, and I had chemo a year ago. I finished about a year ago. I had about 8 rounds of chemo, which I absolutely hated. And it's not that great for my type of cancer. So it did stabilize the tumours that were most causing most risk to my life, that were in my lungs and my pelvis area, and I guess ones that were on my liver. So it did a good job, but then my cancer kind of has metastasized a bit. So it kind of like, when I stopped that chemo, it kind of metastasized. It's like the third generation of my metastases just let rip. So I'm on this journey. I've lost a lot of energy, get a lot of fatigue, lots of pain. I've had some spinal surgery. Don't know, you can't see very well on here, but I've going across here, and that's really helped stabilize my spine, which is a spinal issue, not cancer issue. But I have got metastases to the bone now as well, and it's really scary. So if there's any of you out there in a similar situation, oh my goodness, I feel for you, because it's just, what does that mean? Does it just feels like it's more impenetrable? Like what can you do with that? I feel like you can't just blitz tumours that are in the bone, and they're very achy and painful. And I've got lots of tumours over my shoulders, and they are like between the kind of bone and the muscle, and I feel like they kind of cause a lot of problems with the tendons, and cause a lot of inflammation. And I think they're called bursas, like pockets of inflammation that are so painful. So what I wanted to say was that I have a lot of pain, I have a lot of fatigue, I can't do very much walking, but there's lots of elements to the pain that I'm experiencing. There's a lot of psychological stuff, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of like anxiety, and I also have difficulty with eating. So every time I eat something, I get really terrible stomach discomfort afterwards, and it's just really, really painful as well. And even like having things like, not that I want to talk about it, but like constipation. Like if I go toilet regularly, it's less regular now. It's just that I really want to make sure that my digestive system's working as best as it can, because I know that's a key to everything. So I'm working very hard on that, and trying to make sure I eat some things and healthy things, even though it's going to be really painful. I've got to do that because I've been losing a lot of weight as well. As much as it's great to lose weight, because I've always been overweight, it's not really great to do it this way and lose lots of muscle mass and be in pain. And so I'm working on that too. So it's going to be, I want to reduce the amount of opiates and pain relief I have to take. I want to break through the pain threshold and get moving again, do some strength and conditioning. I want to also work on the stomach discomfort, so just get my microbiomes kind of like gut health a bit better. I do take probiotics already, so that's helped a bit. I want to build up my resilience, my strength and my resilience, so that I can do things like ceramics and pottery and going out for long walks that I've always loved to do and want to do. And this is kind of holding me back because I'm actually really debilitated at the minute, and I'm finding it impossible to just do simplest things because I know throughout the day I'll have waves of quite intense pain through the whole day, and I'll have to stop and pause, and it's really difficult going out with friends and family knowing that I'll go through maybe a couple of times of pain while I'm with other people, and then I get very tired as well. So it's really, really difficult, and I don't really think people around me appreciate fully how difficult that is. But equally, staying at home is not good either. It's the worst outcome out of all of it. So I've got to just somehow break through that, because I know if I can mobilise myself and just get my health up a little bit, it's just going to help me. I'll probably have to have chemo again. I'm trying to put it off till November. But hey, let's get my body... Sorry, I'm not sure what's happening there. It's my son in the kitchen. But I kind of want to get my health as good as possible, ready for the next lot of chemo, or to push it back a little bit more. And also I'd love to do an MA in ceramics, but it's 2.5 days a week. And have I got the stamina to do that at the moment? Probably not. But I'm going to go for it. So the last thing I want to say is where I'm beginning. So I saw a physio yesterday from Derby, Royal Derby Hospital. She's part of the palliative care team, and we went through, I don't know, everything, what I wanted to achieve, what I was struggling with, as I've explained here, and we worked out where I'm going to start. So I'm going to start very, very lightly, and it's something I do already. I'm just going to do some mobility movements with my arms, like these things, kind of trying to stretch my shoulders out because we quite often curve them in. Honest, very simple ones that I need to do because of my shoulder issues. With that, I'm just thinking what I've got to do with that. Then I'm going to do just 10 minutes on the exercise bike, and then some cooling down exercises for my calves and my legs, and what you do after maybe a little bit of a cardio workout. But mine's going to be a very tiny cardio workout, and I'm going to try and go out and do a 15-20 minute walk down to the river and back again. And she came with me on that little walk. She said it's really good because there's lots of uneven ground and steps and, different parts, different bits that would be really good to help with my balance and everything. And there's quite a few seats on the way, on the way back as well. So, all good. So I'm starting very simply, because as soon as I start using weights, like you can see some behind me, 0.5 kilograms, 1 kilogram weight. As soon as I use those, I start to have problems on my shoulders, and it triggers pain in here. excruciating pain. So I'm actually then going to have a referral to the hydropool and start some resistance exercises in the pool, in the heated pool, and that's going to be helpful. I'm really into cold contrast therapy as well, so I have a lot of ice. So I've always got some like ice gel packs, because I find that putting ice around my shoulders and on my head, and I've got various lesions that are very painful, and I've had radiotherapy. Like on this one, I've had radiotherapy on that to stop it growing on the back of my neck, and I've had radiotherapy on my shoulder, and I've got various lumps coming out here and there, and I just feel my body has so much inflammation. Through the day, it kind of builds up, and if I have a cold bath, it really helps. I have a cold bath every morning. That starts me off good, and ice all day, all day long. Even if I'm out, I'll go to Costa and I'll have a plastic bag from like an IKEA food bag, and just ask them to fill it up with ice for me, and then I'll put it all around my back and around my stomach, and it just, if I'm start to feel unwell, if I do that and rest for 20 minutes, I can it it abates, the pain abates. I feel a bit better. I feel better, and I can carry on with the day. Although, by the afternoon, I kind of often crash out, and I work really hard not to stay in bed all afternoon, all night, into the night. Try and get up in the early evening and go up, do some stuff with the kids, watch telly, have something to eat, and go down, because it's horrible to be trapped. As I'm sure a lot of you know, it's horrible to be trapped upstairs in your bedroom in pain. When lying down is quite painful as well. So that's where I am. So I've got a little tick off list for each day, for each of those exercises, and a little section to say my thoughts. And I'm just going with it, being very sensitive and being in tune with how I'm feeling, but with an open mind. Might need to take more pain relief to begin with, I'm not sure. And I'm going with that, and I'm very happy about that. And I appreciate the support that I've got from the physio, because I've tried to get my health back for a year, and I didn't realise I'd had a slip prolapse disc in my neck. So every time I did stuff, it was actually quite painful. And now I look back, and it's obvious why I couldn't get my health back. So I'm just having a bit of help. I think the hydropool will be really good as that very, very start to my recovery, to not going back to how I was when I was thriving with cancer, because I could go to the gym then, but just to come back to something a bit more comfortable. Even my goals are what are my goals? My goals are, I would like to be able to be able to last a day without having to rest. I would, build my stamina up. I'd love to be able to go on a cross trainer for 30 minutes and do about 5k. That's what I used to be able to do. It's not a big thing, is it? But I'd love to get back to that. That'd be amazing. I have no idea if I get there or not. And what else? Yeah, I'd like to begin to do some exercises with weights, even like 1 kilo. I'll start with that. Yeah. And I like to get back to be able to do my little walks in the countryside again. So I used to do this walk, which is like 40 minutes through the woods to a cafe, National Trust Cafe, have a cup of coffee, write my journal, and then walk the 40 minutes back. And I'd love to be able to do that again. At the minute, there's no way I could do that. I think I could do, not every day anyway. I could do maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then I don't think I could do another 30 minutes again without knackering myself and having to go to bed for the rest of the afternoon, which is a bit not very nice. Maybe I also like to be able to go out for walks with my friends without feeling anxious that I'm gonna go through pain and won't be able to do it, and it's a bit embarrassing to be like that in front of friends, even though they are lovely and it's just that I don't know when I set out on a walk. I don't know whether I'm gonna be able to do it or not, and at what point the pain's gonna set in, and then I get stomach pain. So if I go out for a meal with friends, usually eat something, and then after that I know that I'm going to get really bad stomach pains. So I wonder if that'd be a nice thing to be able to go through, I don't know, meeting up with friends with less anxiety. So that's it. So I've started today with some of the stretches. So let's say today is day 1. And I'll just clock in regularly. These will be shorter. I don't think they're going to be more than 4 minutes, and maybe every couple of days or once a week I'll just do a report of how it's going. Okay, bye.